In 1941 we were bombed out and we were left with what we stood up in, and so we were evacuated to the east coast of Scotland. So the street looked like that beforehand, like that afterwards. So, and away from Mum and Dad, away from Dad anyhow, and so we were little refugees in our own way. After my first husband died in 1987, I prayed that I'd be able to be involved in something within the church. So on the 19th of March 1990, I went to my first conference meeting, and John McLean was the president. And he had been widowed for 15 years, and he thought, she looks all right. So about 10 months later, the 2nd of February 91, we got married, and then we moved to Droon and started our real St Vincent de Paul work, being involved in many different things. Well, while John was on State Council, it kept coming up that the Refugee Committee was in abeyance and they would like to get it re-established. We didn't really know anything about refugees or asylum seekers or anything like that, so it was quite a steep learning curve. And to help all states work together, there was a National Refugee Committee formed, of which we were part. And one year we went to Adelaide and went up to the Baxter Detention Centre with the National President, John Meehan. And that was a most harrowing experience, because it was like something from Get Smart. You went through into one, 5 of you would go into one wired off section with a gate at the beginning and the gate at the end, and a guard at the beginning and a guard behind you. So when the 5 of us would get in, they would close the back gate, and then the first one would open the front gate, and we'd go through and walk up a little bit and into another grill thing. Through that, the same procedure, and then up into the building, and we'd go through a system like the airport, and then you finally got to see the detainees. And all the time the guards were walking right round beside you, behind you and that, watching your every move. And the night before, a nun had given us phone cards to take in, but not to let the guards see you giving them. And I had to hide it in my bra and then go to the toilet and try and sneak it out, and then try and sneak it to the refugee that was sitting beside me. So I was scared stiff. But when we left there, and they were all standing looking out this glass panel, and we're walking to freedom, and they're locked up in there. There was tears shed when we finally got outside and got our gear to leave. And you'll see the photos, and it was all standing there. After we came to Droon, St Vincent de Paul really became our life, because John was asked to be the regional president. We didn't know anybody in Gippsland, so that was difficult. And then from there he went on to be the Sale Diocesan president, which took him on to State Council, which took him on to the other committees. And so we were just all the time going to St Vincent de Paul meetings, and so it became our life. If there was something happening in the family, I had to try and work it out around our St Vincent de Paul commitments. So, not that we minded, we enjoyed doing what we were doing, and so that became our life, St Vincent de Paul.